Oh, God. Y'all scared me again sneaking in here to the old home place in the country kitchen. Yep, it's been a while since we've seen y'all, hasn't it? Yep. But since it's getting late, sun don't set till right around 7:20, and we've been out working in the yard, so excuse my appearance. Look a little rough, I'm sure, since I didn't go look, since I wasn't expecting y'all. Another thing too is, since you're here, and I know some of you are going to be wanting some food. You're probably hungry. Well, we are cooking. But you're going to have to be satisfied and not be complaining about what we're doing. And we're doing something special tonight. So I'm going to be showing you, like always, most of what you need. But I have a secret to the main ingredient that I'm not going to reveal till further along in the video. I have my reasons for that, because it's personal secret. And that, top secret that is. But anyway, glad to have y'all here with me. God bless you. And come on in. There's seats there in the dining room. And y'all, I got the love seat cleaned off. Excuse me, the couch ain't. And I'll show you what you're going to need, or sort of, kind of, most of it. And we'll get this going on. And I'll serve you up a sort of, kind of appetizer of it. And if you love it, or like it, and you want more, we got more in the freezer. But once you see what we got laid out, you might sort of have a clue what we're going to be cooking up tonight here at the old home place. Well, like always, you're going to need a few things to put this together tonight. So, and it might sort of, kind of give away what we're going to be doing, or you may think it is. So what are we going to have? Well, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you the main ingredient. But you're going to need some hamburger buns. And I got some of those old store-bought kind, sure fine, from Wonderful Superfoods right here. 89 cents, I believe. And then, I went ahead and got me out a couple of pieces of processed cheese. Yeah, that's American. Went ahead and chopped up, rough chop. A little bit of onion there. That's yellow onion. Okay, you could use red or even white. And then I got me 4 pickles. Now this is enough to put 1 serving together. And if y'all love it, I can always get more out. We got plenty in the fridge. And you're also going to need some black pepper. And we're going to be using fresh ground tonight. Oh yeah, since y'all stopped by. And some salt. And here again, since y'all surprised me, I had to say we wasn't going to use table salt over there. We're going to bring out the pink salt. It's Himalayan. From all those virgins over there, grinding it up on the high mountainsides. Tibet or someplace. You're going to need a little Worcestershire sauce. I like French's. Then, of course, you're going to need some type of oil. Now, it really doesn't matter, your choice, but I'm using extra virgin olive oil, organic, from Great Value, or Walmart. Gonna need a little ketchup. Mine, of course, is Heinz. Most of y'all know my last name is Himes. Yeah, no, it's not H-E-I-N-Z. Sort of, kind of wish it was. It's H-I-M-E-S. But it sounds the same. And you're going to need some yellow mustard. Now, you could use your Grey Poupon tonight. Or whatever kind of mustard you want. But with the exception of the main ingredient, this is what you're going to need. So if y'all, you know, in your homes watching this on the TV or your computer screen, tablet, phone, if you want to get all this together and cook along, you could. I mean, I always do this way for y'all. And of course, you're going to need some type of skillet. I've brought out the old cast iron there, 40 plus years, and a spatula. So, there you have it. Have you guessed yet what we're already going to be cooking tonight? You know, those of you brave enough, and don't skip on later into the video, go ahead and write down the comments. It'll be fun to see what you thought right now, early in the video, to when you see it at the end. So come on, let's get to cooking. Tricks. Papa cooking in the kitchen, so you're waiting patiently, aren't you? Are you waiting patiently? Yeah, I'm sorry, baby. I had to put up a little barricade there for you. As y'all know, Trix is on way up there in years. And sometimes she gets out of sight, and then, of course, we have an accident that I don't find till I step on it. Anyway, the old carpet monster is in the dining room, being her old destructive self. And now, y'all, as always, you need to preheat your skillet. Now, if you're using stainless steel, aluminum, or non-stick, those are much thinner and don't take a lot of time. But for the old cast iron here, that takes a minute, okay? Yes, it does. We're going to set that at a 5 for now, okay? We're going to let it come up to temperature, which for this nice old thick cast iron going to take about anywhere from about 5 to 10 minutes, okay? So, as soon as this thing gets nice and toasty, we'll be adding some this here nice extra virgin olive oil to it, and we're going to get this show on the road, okay? Hey, y'all, just watch the pan. I'm going to finish the video, okay? Well, we've had that pan preheating for a bit. Let's see if it's ready to start cooking. You see, sprinkle a little water there. And I don't know if y'all can see it on camera, but it sizzles. Not too long after it hits. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to add some of this here extra virgin olive oil. Oh yeah, it don't take a lot. Just a little, okay? I'd say about a half teaspoon to a teaspoon. Just to get that pan all nice and I guess you'd say lubricated, huh? So there we got it. Now we got to add our super secret ingredient. And I made these up ahead of time, okay? So, y'all close your eyes. Wait till I put it in the pan. And then open your eyes, okay? So, yeah, y'all can see it. We got us a hamburger right there. Yeah, and these are a little bit pre-cooked ahead of time. Yeah, they are. And we're going to set our timer here just because we, start running our jaws with y'all. And we might overcook this bad boy, okay? And while we're doing that, we're going to throw a bun in the old toaster. Because I like them toasted buns. Do you like them toasted buns? If you don't, we just got these little old Surefine ones. Now, what I like to do is I like to cook these up and sort of make something similar to my most favorite or one of my most favorite, fast food sandwiches. And as many of y'all know, I truly do like the McDonald's double cheeseburger, as well as the Big Mac, on occasion, once, twice, 3 times a year. There's another one in the mix that I'll have once or twice a year. Here again, maybe 3 times. And that's a 1/4 pounder with cheese. Oh yeah. Now, if you was paying any attention to that bun, the only thing that's going to be missing tonight is we don't got sesame seeds on our bun. Nope. We just use no plain Jane regular buns. And they're going to be a little bit smaller. Yeah, as you can see, the browning on these, they were already cooked up some before we started tonight. Yeah, so it makes it real handy. We're only going to be doing about 3 minutes per side. Real quick. Isn't that great? If you can go to your freezer, pull something out, and with a matter of, besides, cutting up the onion, if you didn't have no chopped onion, getting out your pickles and cheese and condiments, we're talking, under 10 minutes. And you got a fine, tasty burger. Oh yeah. It's going to be tasty. Oh, there's the buns. Let me go get them. And the timer went off. Like I said, that was 3 minutes per side. You sat there and watched that in real time, didn't y'all? Make sure I didn't burn it. We'll just get that grease back over there, the olive oil. Give her another nice sizzle. Woo, doggy, look at it. She cooking now. Yeah, anytime we do the burger, we're going to be getting some splatter. Yeah, well, this old kitchen here, it needs to have everything tore out and have an industrial cleaning anyway. I'm sure many of y'all will agree. So let's set that timer again for about 3 minutes. And then this thing will be ready to start making. Okay? Woo, look at that thing. And it's smelling good. Now, like I said, I'm going to be cutting this thing up. Once I got it cooked up, in halves. Then maybe quarters. And then maybe, we'll go 8. That way all of y'all that are in here, well, I could only let about 12 of y'all in here. The rest of y'all outside. And of course, there's going to be, several hundred to several thousand out there in the virtual neighborhood, which I'm ever so appreciative of every one of y'all. And that. But if y'all like that little appetizer, and I'll do you one better. I can stick in one of those little toothpicks to hold it all together to you. Make it like one of them there fancy serviettes. Appetizers, they call it. That maybe your mama, grandmother, or great-grandmother. We'll turn that heat down just a little bit. See, we got some smoking going on. Turn down to a 3. It'll be okay, though. And that's the great thing about cast iron. It can take the heat. Yeah, back in the day, I can remember my great-grand, my grandmother, and even my mama. We get back from after church, have that brunch. And they'd also have afternoon teas. I think that was on Wednesday. And they'd be making those things like cucumber sandwiches, where they cut the crust off and everything. And pimento cheese. Boy, I got it. Sometimes if y'all twist my arm, I might have to show you my super secret pimento cheese. And as always, you want to make sure, you might not be able to see it there real clearly. There's a lot of juice on this. You got to remember the flavors in the fat, right? Timer just went off. 3 minutes aside right there, right? So, we're going to get that off the heat. Okay? And we're going to get her on out there and on a bun. And we're going to start putting this bad boy together. Okay? Now, I know. It's got the house smelling fine. And all the bellies are rumbling. And so is mine. And Trixie's pacing back and forth. Mine saw her. Gracie the carpet monster. And she's sort of hanging out in my dining room chair. Wait. She's got more patience now than Trixie. So, let me get it. And get her on a bun and fix her on up for you, okay? So, the first thing we did, and I didn't realize the camera was off, is we laid down one of those American cheese slices right on top of the bun. Yep, just like McDonald's does. Then we put on that nice, tasty, browned burger. Yeah, we did. Now, you may have not seen the Worcestershire sauce. I forgot about that. I put a couple of sprinkles in that olive oil just to give it some flavor. And I messed up and didn't show it to you. That's all part of doing videos real time. Now, next thing we're going to do is here again, we're just going to do like McDonald's. We're going to place on some of these chopped onions. And since we're doing this at home, we don't got that little dab on it like they do. We can put as many as we like. Right? Next, we're going to put these hamburger deals on there. Here again, you can put as many as you like. I think McDonald's puts 3. I'm going to be generous and put 4. Now, I don't have that little fancy thing that they squeeze and 3 nice dollops of ketchup comes out. Or mustard. You gotta do it old school, okay? So we're gonna sit here and try to do that. Okay? Then we're gonna go with mustard after we give it a shake. Well, another thing I want to say that I messed up and didn't show y'all when cooking that was I had pre-seasoned that hamburger with just a little salt and black pepper as it was cooking. Yeah, like I say, those are all mistakes you make when you video. And I make mine, and I'm not going to redo this. I'm not going to throw this in the garbage. It's going to be perfectly fine, okay? So there you have it. Basically, we've got Mr. Tom's equivalent to a McDonald's quarter pounder. You know, other than that, I get a toasted bun without the sesame seeds. We're going to cut this mamma jammer in half right now. Okay? So we'll get out the old chef knife. We're going to give her a cut right down the middle. And I don't care whether it's my recipe and my secret hamburger or one you made. It's already tasty. Now let me show it to you, okay? Ooh, look at that bad boy. You can see that cheese on that bun. And another thing that does in McDonald's is pretty smart. They know that keeps the bottom bun from getting soggy. Then we got, look at the juice. Look at that juice in that burger patty. Another piece of cheese. Got the pickles. You know, the 3 dollops of ketchup and mustard. Oh my Lord. That looks almost store-bought, don't it? Okay. Ain't one thing left to do. Let's give it a taste test. And like I told you, we ain't gonna be a hog. So what we gonna do is we gonna cut this thing up a little bit. Right here. You know, I can get 3 out of this side, 3 out of that side, that's 6, and I got another one standing by cut up and cook in the freezer in case y'all think it's tasty. We'll let the first 5 of y'all decide how much you enjoyed this, okay? Well, let's give it a taste test. Now, I know y'all are thinking, I watched this long just for him to make a hamburger. Well, trust me, it's a little bit more than a hamburger. So, I'll sneak that pickle that snuck out there. Y'all turn over this way so you can see old Mr. Tom. Look at that. That's simply beautiful, I'm telling you. Like I said, now we gotta give it a taste test. Better get this plate up close to me. Oh, that's darn tasty. Oh, the doneness and the texture. You know, that cooking them from frozen 3 minutes aside has made them, oh, so delicious. You know, putting that little bit of Worcestershire sauce and that olive oil, which, yeah, forgot to show all of y'all. And that, of course, forgot to show you salt and pepper in them, but come on. Who don't salt and pepper their burgers? And that has made them so tasty. Oh, moist. I mean, this is way better, or as I would say, much more better, or more better than anything coming out of McDonald's. Yeah. And if you called me over to your house and was serving up these, you know, maybe with some fries, you know, some tater tots, chips, I'd be darn right thrilled. I surely would. So I'm sure many of y'all are wondering what has made this experience so special. It's a hamburger, right? Okay. Well, I'm about to let you on a little secret. And that, once all of you have a taste. So once all of you have tasted, and then if I need to, I'll cook up some more. We'll come back, and I'll show you the secret to this hamburger. Right, Trix? Woo, I know I'm going to eat another slab unless one of y'all get picky. So, y'all, what was it? Yeah, like I said, sort of stretched the truth a little bit. You see, it was actually a before the butcher, yep, plant-based burger. Sure was, single patty. And I mean, these are some they've come out with here in the last couple of years. And it's their uncut brand, and this happens to be their solos. It's 1 patty per little plastic bag, and it weighs exactly 4 ounces. These are pricey. They're like $2.98 a piece. So right from the get-go, they're not cheap. But you might wonder why old Mr. Tom is eating a plant-based burger. Well, I'm a curious type of guy. Many of you know I'm an engineer, process engineer by profession, among other things. And there's a lot of talk, and it's been getting increasingly more and more and more intense over the last few years. To here the last year or two, it's just game on. And like always, you got two sides of the story. But this is the Before the Butcher. Many of y'all know about the Impossible Meat, Impossible Burger, as well as Beyond Meat, which is what most people don't know is the #1 brand plant-based burgers. And we're going to be talking about these three because they make up a vast majority of the new releases of plant-based meat here, not only in America, but the world. It is trendy. And I wanted to know. I just didn't want to watch other YouTubers, Instagram, and other social media outlets, or the Tin Hat Bowl crowd. I wanted to try. I wanted to get the Impossible Burger and the Beyond Meat, but that just wasn't available in my local area. This is all I could come up with, and Before the Butcher's like number 3 or 4 in the marketplace. But to my surprise, there's actually a top 10. And even further to my surprise was many of our well-known meat producers and packagers are getting on the bandwagon here the last 2 to 3 to 4 years into plant-based proteins. And that's what this is. But it's nothing new, especially to us oldsters. I think many of y'all can probably remember back in the mid-70s, and they've been a mainstay in the vegetarian meat alternative market, a company called Morningstar. You may have seen them when you were scouting out the freezer section in meats. They've been around since I think 1975, and actually either was late 70s or very early 80s, because my wife decided that maybe it might be healthier if we went a little more vegetarian, at least, 1 or 2 nights a week. We should try and incorporate them into our diet. And she tried for way longer than I did, and they just weren't that tasty. Of course, they were made from things like black beans and other such things. Textured vegetable protein, which is basically soybeans that are put through an amazing chemical process. That, if you look into how textured vegetable protein, which has been with us now since the 50s, and you'd be surprised just how many foods it's in, especially canned processed foods, bagged, boxed, frozen. Oh, you start reading them labels, you'll find TVPs in a whole lot of those things you might be buying. And you might be surprised by who is actually offering them. And that's where I want to get back to. Your major meat producers have entered this game. And what they've done, and these companies are like Tyson, Smithfield, Purdue, Hormel. Hormel's been in the game for quite a long time, especially with textured vegetable protein. And something I didn't realize is things like Chef Boyardee. I mean, a couple of days back I was eating some Chef Boyardee spaghetti and meatballs. And to be honest, I haven't read the labels. We all had that when we were a kid. Chef Boyardee's spaghetti and meatballs from time to time. We didn't have it very often in my family because it was pricey. We were poor. Mama just make her own, which may or may not have had meat in it. and may or may had beans and other things in it. But I didn't know there was TVP in them meatballs. Now I knew they weren't all beef, you know. But another thing, people said, and I sort of did a little unscientific poll the other night in another content creator's channel while he was live, and I just raised the question to him and his viewers if they would eat plant-based meat, and if not, why. Not only he, but 100% of his viewers said, ain't no way, not gonna happen, never gonna go there. But, and the but was, they didn't have a reason why. They just never had, ain't gonna do it, ain't nobody gonna make them. Now this gets back to the point where, you know, we as humans and women's often say things like never. We sure do. And I think we all taught, maybe in church, if not by our parents or in school, that the first person a person should never say is that word never. Because sometimes during your lifetime, and it may be sooner than you think, you will live to regret that. You surely will. So y'all, was this a tasty burger? That's the first thing you need to know, right? Well, as you can see here, from this cutaway view, you know, where we cut it in half, you can see the juiciness. I mean, it's not, you know, overflowing, but you can see some moistness there. But the first thing you see, which might have gave it away, if you didn't already give it away when you looked in the pan and first threw it in, you can see it's rather uniform. So you know it's, you know, factory made. Now I make similar burgers with my hamburger press, you know, where I buy bulk ground beef, press them out, put them in little freezer containers. I think they were by Tupperware. I've had that thing for 40 years. Smash them out and then stack them up, put them in the freezer. So I could have made something that looked just like this, and I do. But you can see, you can look at it, it's got the texture of ground beef, you know, the crumbles, you know, the pieces and everything. But how did it taste on its own? And that's one thing I try to do when I look at anything like this that's supposedly similar to or just like, you know, meat. You know, like Morningstar was, or Loma Linda. You can look both those up. They're old-time brands, okay? What I try to do is be analytical and objective. Just take that all away. This is supposed to be an alternative to meat. And I'm not going to judge it, first of all, based against, is this going to taste like, you know, 100% beef, homemade patty, or even one that we can get in our fast food restaurants or whatever? No. I'm going to judge it on its own. And if you thought I was embellishing or acting when I was sitting there tasting it with all of y'all and saying it was delicioso and tasty, well, that was not embellishing. That was a fact. On its own, it's fairly tasty. With that all said, the texture and the chewiness was more akin to what I would remember and refer to is the burgers we had back when it was the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And this is back in a time when something came out that was supposed to revolutionize and help feed the world. And that was soybean protein in the form of TVP, textured vegetable protein. And until it got to be poo-pooed on by all those that want 100% of something. It was in food service type burgers. And these are all factory made. And was served in cafeterias all over this nation, whether it was our schools, military messes, what have you. As local greasy spoons, diners, truck stops, and all that. And can still be bought today. So does it have the texture of a 100% beef patty? Not quite. But it does have the texture, sort of kind of close to burger. And when I say burger, I mean a beef burger. It's chewy. You got those crumbles. It was juicy. And as you can see, there's just a slight pink coloration, of a medium rare burger. Brown on the top and bottom too. But as I ate it, overall, if you don't judge it against a true 100% beef made hamburger, this was actually tasty and more than edible. And if you had served it to me on a platter, back in the day when we used to make these all up, burgers and that, and put them on a platter, throw them on a table, for a backyard get together, what have you, would have I got offended? Would I have walked off your place? No, I wouldn't have. But with all that said, the point being, is this a replacement for meat? 100%? No, it's not. But it's a far cry from where we used to be with vegetarian and vegan offerings back in the day. So, another thing I'd like to say is this particular food is highly processed. And that's something I just don't understand about this push on the people right now with all the plant-based meats. They are extremely processed foods. But let's take a look at the ingredients right now. And that will sort of, get us into just how processed they are. Okay? So here we are. We're on the Before the Butcher website. And we're looking at our uncut brands because that's exactly what I cooked up. And what we're here to do is take a look at what was in those. And like I said, these are highly processed. So the ingredients. First one's water. Then second one's soy protein concentrate. And that's where it starts to be highly processed. This soy protein concentrate, and you'll see that in the Impossible Burger now too, which originally was wheat protein, but they switched it in 2019 to soy protein concentrate. And of course the reason they did that was because of, the gluten issue that everybody seems to have now. But during this here soy protein concentrate, how it's made, which gives that their crumbly texture and fibrous texture of beef, it's not lab grown. But now I will say, it was developed in a lab, just like every last processed food. All throughout your supermarket is. All of them start out in a lab somewhere, and I know that for a fact because I worked in this industry for over 12 years. But anyway, that process where they create the soy protein concentrate is akin to it's a fermentation process. And the closest you can come to it with sort of kind of, telling you what it's like, is like beer fermentation. In the fermentation process of beer and alcohol, pretty much similar. And you can see here it's got expeller pressed canola oil, which, it's going to be hard to get around those GMOs. It's got refined coconut oil. And the reason for that is for that juiciness and the flavor. It's got isolated soy protein, soy flour, yeast extract. Now the yeast extract is what is in the process that makes the soy protein concentrate. And in that yeast extract is yeast extract, natural flavor, and salt. We never know what's in that natural flavor. You'll see that if you start reading labels in your processed food aisle. The natural flavor is in so many things, it's just unbelievable. Even some of your deli meats. Then it's got methyl cellulose. Not sure what that is, but it's some type of cellulose, which normally cellulose is based on a plant derivative. Now, a lot of people confuse and say, well, we're eating wood. Well, it could come from wood, but it can also come from any other plant-based source. Now, you did notice when I showed you the burger thrown in the pan there, a little cast iron pan, it had caramel color. It was, lightly to medium dark brown. Well, that's from the caramel color. Here again, they say natural flavor, which is yeast extract, maltodextrin, salt, natural flavors, which none of us know what those are, medium chain triglycerides, acetic acid. And we all know what acetic acid is. That's the vitamin C. And then it has grill flavor from sunflower oil and smoked flavor. Now, I will say this. These did have a slightly smoked flavor to them. And that was rather enjoyable. But we all use this, or many of us do, and it's in a product probably got in our cupboards right now, liquid smoke. Whenever you use it, it only takes an extreme small amount. Oh, that stuff is highly concentrated. Now the beet powder, beet juice, and that gives it that pink, reddish color that would remind you, should you be looking at it when you're biting on it, of a medium rare burger. And that's used in all of them, or at least the top three that I've looked into, and that being the Impossible Burger and the Beyond Meat Burger. So then it's got some more maltodextrin in it, citric acid, that's from stuff like oranges, lemons, limes, and what have you. Natural red color, which here again is beet juice, annatto, and glycerin. Citric acid. Now they clearly say it contains soy. And that's another thing. The Impossible Burger started out with wheat protein, now switched to soy. But the Beyond Burger went away from that. They don't not only have wheat protein not in them, but they don't have soy protein. They're soy free. They use pea protein, which is primarily chickpeas. So as you can see, these have got to be highly processed. And that's the part I just don't understand, because the people pushing them, the vegans, the vegetarians, and all what have you, up until here in the last year or two or three, they have been all about all natural, certified organic, everything's got to be nature based, and here we are, 2021, promoting a highly processed food, something that wouldn't have touched their lips prior to this. So there's got to be something more behind it. And of course, as most of you know, what's behind it. Now, if you take from the animal rights activists, it's all about the animals. They're not happy that we butcher animals for food. They look at that as inhumane. They try to compare it to our pets. But, animals were raised for food. and they're dealt with as humanely as possible to feed the amount of masses that we have on this planet, which is approaching 8 billion at the moment. Then you got now the banner of the climate activists, those or those all supporting the theory of global warming, which has now been changed to climate change. And I'll be the first to admit climate does change. And that. Is man totally responsible for that? And what have you? Are cows responsible in any way for that? As much as I can dig, the verdict's still out. Either way, objectively, I can't say. Cows all farting all over the planet. To me, I just don't see the driver there. But that's what this is all about now. Plant-based meats are now being pushed that they are a way to eliminate climate change. And then you've got, the political activists, which are on the climate change bandwagon. So it's coming, folks. And if you're like me and you're on the internet using your computers or your phones, you're starting to see more and more of the ads for plant-based protein of some kind of sort. And if you look here at this Uncut brand, not only do they got burgers, but they got a chicken burger, they got a turkey burger, they even got breakfast sausage. And if you look at before the butcher, overall, they got chicken chunks, they got shredded beef, and you'll see the same with other top brands. Beyond Meat, which is expanding throughout supermarkets, probably, the most widely seen one in your supermarket, especially Walmart's and your big chains. Then you got the Impossible Burger, which is rapidly spreading through the fast food chains. Well, come to find out, Beyond Meat, Beyond Burger, and all their offerings are widely expanding throughout the fast food chains as well as many of your sit-down restaurants. So another thing I learned from looking into all this is 25% of the U.S. population currently eats plant-based meats. Think about that. Secondly, I learned 41% of America has tried it. I would have never thought those numbers were even possible. So this gets all back to the issue of why I wanted to try it. And we'll be continuing to try it. I'm going to try to get the Impossible Burger, Beyond Meat, and try them too. I may even revisit it, Morning Star and Loma Linda, just to see what it was like back in the day. Now, do I expect all of y'all to go out and try it and hail it? Am I a proponent of plant-based meat? No. I enjoy my meat. Albeit I don't eat as much as I used to once upon a time. Through my research and my looking, cutting back on my meat intake just made total sense. And even what our government, FDA, tells us, and that is we should be eating a 4-ounce serving or a serving about the size of your palm with every meal. And I've looked into all that. And see, I'm a proponent of a balanced diet. And that's another thing I don't understand about the people that are really against all this plant-based stuff. They grow gardens. They can all their veggies. They go buy veggies. They're all big into veggies. And then this comes up and it's like, nope, ain't gonna happen. Well, I can understand the way of taste, familiarity, and not willing to give it up. But my point of testing this, tasting it, reviewing this, is I want to know what's out there and what's coming down the line. Yep. Because I'm old enough now to understand. Popular opinion, the agendas, it's not the agendas of the government. It's the agendas of the people. We'll drive this, to some extent, down our throats whether we like it or not. And there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Now you can say, oh, well, I'll never eat it. Well, how are you going to do that? All of a sudden, everybody's going to be raising their own cows, their own pigs, their own chickens. And I know many of y'all may have chickens, and you raise your own eggs. At a cost, albeit way far expensive than going to the grocery store. I.e., that's why so many here on social media have to come out and say, well, they're pets. Now, right now, the cost of these plant-based meats, to me, is extremely expensive. I mean, if you got to pay $2.98 for a 4-ounce burger, think about what that is a pound. We'll just round that to $3. And that, and you're talking 4 times that, you're talking $12 a pound. Based against the $1.90 a pound I paid the last time I went to Superfoods for, 73.27 ground meat, which is actually tasty. So do I think in my lifetime this is going to be forced on us? Personally, I'm going to go ahead and say I don't think that's going to happen. I do think they're going to try. And I know many of y'all are going to put in the comments, well, Biden said, we're going to reduce meat consumption in America by 90% by 2030. And I've looked into that. And there's a whole lot of people out there that said that ain't quite what he said during the climate conference. I don't know. I haven't read the whole transcript. Maybe y'all let me know if you have read the transcript. You're just not going off what somebody said. But I'm not gonna. And then I know many of y'all, and I've been watching this on other channels and live streams, whatever, canning ferociously all the meat that you possibly can. Well, that's a good thing. It will save you money in the short term. But eventually, you will have no choice. Prices will go up. Meat availability may go down. Price may get too high that you're just not able to buy it anymore. Whatever the strategy is, based on the amount of time I've been alive, some things are just inevitable unless a whole lot of people are willing to stand up and change it. And I'm going to tell you straight out, I don't think that will happen. But I do hope this inspires you to check them out, taste them if you would like. You don't got to love them, but this way you'll know what's out there. I know what's out there now, and I'll be tasting more. If you'd like to see more reviews about plant-based meats and what's available out there, I'd be more than glad to show you. Now, important, there's one thing I'd like to leave you with. These are not lab-grown meat substitutes or alternatives. The process was developed in a lab. But like I've said, every packaged and processed food started out in a lab somewhere. All of them have it. The lab-grown meat, which is coming, and will some be released in 2021, I've seen and read, that is what's called cultured meat. And that is actually taken from cells of the different animals. Bovine cells for cattle, poultry cells for chicken, what have you. When I say cells, these are T cells. And they're T cells specific to the muscle that they're trying to grow. And this all was developed through research and development for human replacement of certain things and organs, like skin for burn victims and accident victims, which is a thing and is real. Yes, every day somewhere in America, all over the world, skin is actually grown. But not only that, and we all know it, different organs can be grown from T cells. Yep, it's a fact. And it was from that research and development and successes that somewhere somebody said, well, if you can grow a human kidney or human skin, you can grow the shoulder muscle of a cow or the rib section. And that's exactly what is happening in labs all around the world right now. And that is true lab-grown meat, cell-cultured meat. Is it an alternative or a substitute? No. It's actually beef, chicken, pork, or what have you. It's the real deal. Albeit it wasn't grown naturally, wasn't raised, wasn't fed out, and it wasn't butchered. It's grown in a culture of some time. So y'all, I hope this has informed you some. I hope it inspires you to look into this issue, see where, life is going here in 2021. And like always, I'm not going to leave you with just what a plant-based burger looks like. I actually went and got the real deal. And here, now it is. So y'all, I can't leave without showing you the real deal for comparison, right? So yeah, Mr. Tom sprung. Some of you sent me some birthday money and said to treat myself and the kitty crew. So I went out and got me a 1/4 pounder, yep, with cheese. Now this is fresh beef, cooked to your order. Yeah, I don't ever do that. Now as you can see, they got that nice sesame seeded bun there going on, which we didn't have on ours. And you can see the patty right there. But we're going to cut it in half so we can have a comparison. Now this is as new can get, trust me. So here we are. We're going to do just like we did that before the butcher burger. Take our old chef knife there, cut her in half. And then we're going to take her up and hopefully you can see the juiciness. Cheese down there below the patty. Remember that. Keeps that bottom bun from getting so soggy. And you can see some speckles of juiciness in that 1/4 pounder. It's got the cheese going on top. And of course you can see the ketchup, mustard, and pickles going on with the onions. Just like what I did. But I want you to remember what before the butcher looked like, and remember what this looked like. Now, is this going to taste way more better than before the butcher? Yeah. Is it going to taste like the real deal beef? Yep. But I still can't kick the before the butcher burger. Because for what it is, it ain't bad. So, I do hope this video inspires you to think about all this, check into it yourself, do your own research, and prepare for the future of what's coming down the road, folks. And until Gracie, Trixie, Cleo, Spooky and Speedy. See you on the next video. You know, sometimes Elrod McGee. Y'all take care out there. Stay safe. And God bless each and every one of you. Bye for now. Now I gotta eat it. Trix, Gracie, y'all want some quarter pounder? You do, huh? Okay. I'll strip everything off and chop it all up for y'all. Okay?